Welcome to Trailblazers, the show that profiles the lives of women and men who've made significant strides in their respective fields. These are the dreamers, the strategists and visionaries who strive for excellence. With over 100 goals to her name, football legend Portia Modise joins me on the show to share some of her successes, her challenges and aspirations for transformation. You're a football legend who's made great strides in your field. You have scored many goals and you've made such a great impact in this space. How was your childhood like?
I think my childhood in Po was a rough childhood a little bit because we didn't have enough support here at home. We had two single parents and they were not really working, and they were trying all means to support us in the way that they can. And yeah, Nati being at school trying our best, but yeah, I could say when we're talking about my childhood, it was really not a nice one, but yeah.
And where did you get that gap of opportunity to decide to move into football?
I don't think it's something that I gave thought of. It's something that just happened because I used to play in the street with boys, with my boys that I grew up with in my childhood. And we used to play street football, and we used to call it challenge in Eskas. And yeah, then I realized, Gucci, even my brothers, they used to play football, and every time when they go to the field, I'll go with them and go to watch them, and I end up falling in love with the game, and I knew Gucci I could play the game, but that, I think it made an impact to Gucci. I also wanted to play like them, and I started to pay attention to my career, and yeah, I started to join proper teams, not only playing street football.
And with you joining the teams, talk us through the journey. What was it like? Was there a lot of stereotyping along the way? The journey must have not been an easy one.
I could say my journey was easy. I grew up in a great community, great people, very supporting. They were really never that negative that much, because when I started playing for a proper team, I played for a Rangers boys. They were boys, and actually they used to like me in the team because I was a great player. For them it didn't matter the gender. For them it was all about the game, and I was doing it so well. So I never had any problems me playing with guys. I never felt any left out as a woman, because yeah, there's me amongst guys being a woman. But actually I was feeling great because me as a woman, I was doing great amongst the guys. So yeah.
And that must take a certain kind of attitude, Portia, to be able to be resilient and persevere. There must be some sort of attitude within you that tells you that you can do it.
Yeah, for sure. I guess when I became popular, when I was playing with boys, and I was this small star as a woman amongst the guys, and I felt good to if probably I could pursue my career that much going to play with the women. But then that time I didn't know that there were women teams out there. I thought I was the weird woman, the only one who could play football with guys. Then yeah, when I was doing well with guys, when we had a friendly game with the School of Excellence while I was playing with my team, guys team, then I remember scoring 2 goals. They wanted to sign me in the School of Excellence. Then my coach told them, "But you know, I'm a woman." So the coach, they were so surprised, and at least they gave me lead of the women teams, which if I could join, where probably I could end up playing for my national team.
And you've played for several teams, and the awards on the table here show that you have really achieved excellence in this field of football. Talk me through the highlights. Perhaps your first game playing with women.
I think my first game I was playing for Cosmos Ladies, and we were playing a league game, but we didn't really win the league, but we did well in the league, and there were selections away the inter-provincial leagues squads. So the coaches, they were selecting players there. Then I was one of the players that was selected, and I was still young, 12 years old that time. Then we went to play, I think, in Cape Town. Then in Cape Town, then I got to be selected for under 19 Basitan. Then from there again, my career started because I played there in the age of 12 years, but I was doing wonders in that age. Then I got selected for the first team and I was 14, yeah. So my things really went well in the young age, yeah.
In 2008, you made an announcement that you would no longer be playing for South Africa because of a breakdown in relations with your then coach. Talk us through the motive behind that announcement.
I think there was a misunderstanding. It was not like I'm quitting. I didn't want to honor my country. It's something that I love to honor my country, especially doing what I love. I think there were complications in Gucci. There were problems Gucci, ungazwani ne Portia, ungazwani ne coach, and there were a lot of things mina I missing ngakwazi ukubonisana nazo. Then I decided Gucci, I need to take a break, and precisely I believed Gucci I was still young, and me taking a break, I know I could come back, but I know one thing about coaches, they come and go and they don't get an opportunity like us. I felt good, let me leave him to serve his time. By the time Minabam coach, I could still go back, another coach will come. It's like a favor, it's what you do in the field. So I knew I could do good in the field. Any coach, if we don't come personal, he would like me with what I do.
You came back in 2012 then, after this breakdown in relations, because the reports stated you being unhappy with homophobia and some allegations of sexual harassment in that time.
Yeah, I felt good. My gayness has got nothing to do with football, with my career, because end of the day, as much as I'm gay, when I'm there wearing the national team jersey, I'm not playing gay or I'm not showing any that. I'm just a national player presenting my country. So I felt good. There were really useless excuses about us not really getting sponsors as a women's team. Now people really not doing their job. They felt good. We are the cause just because we gay. That's the reason why we don't get sponsors. And I felt good. We disrespected, you know, with our sexuality a little bit, because at the same time when we present our country, we do respect that. So end of the day, what I do after that, it's got nothing to do with anyone. Why I have to explain myself? Because straight people, they don't explain themselves. So as I'm gay, why I have to explain to anyone? Every time I need to explain myself. So I felt good. I don't have to explain myself to anyone. I'm who I am, and it's a young time.
And looking at, we're in 2018 now, the inequalities in football between men and women, how far has the gap closed in? Are there still major challenges?
I'll say as long as women, they don't get the same salary, the game treatment, their games they're not showed on TV, it simply says we're not in the same page with guys. We still have a gap between women and the men. Because at the end of the day, by now, if they were saying things that are changing for women football, I think by now we're going to have a semi-professional Yamandomazana. I wouldn't even say a professional, because we need to start small. At least it's going to be our first time having a proper professional women soccer teams playing professional. So I would say if by now, if things they were supposed to be equal, by 2 years back we're supposed to have a professional league. By now we're supposed to talking about we going to try a professional side Yamandomazana, and at the same time these big teams, PSL, they need to engage themselves, you know, to see women's football change. Because at the end of the day, if they could adopt one team Yamandomazana in the team, PSL Yamagents, probably could give that weight to improve women's football. But I will tell you, we're not going to do it alone, because at the end of the day, you'll see it when we play Banyana going to the stadium. If they were saying play to come and watch Banyana, you have to go and buy a ticket. I'm sure you were going to have 10 people or 15 people. So sometimes you get lucky because the stadium is free. That's why people sometimes they go and watch. But then if you're saying now you want to do a professional Yamandomazana and people they need to go and pay, while else you didn't even expose them in a good environment to people to know which they are women who are playing a good football. Because when they don't see you Banyana, they think you're not playing anymore. And you know there's teams like Pumago and Jangama Giants, they come from Pirates, Kaizer Chiefs, Sundowns, and actually we have those teams. But then those teams, they don't get enough support with people they could know about those women's teams, but they only see us Muslim but they wouldn't come and watch us Guma teams age. So if big teams like about Pirates, Chiefs, they could adopt one team is those ladies teams. When they play league games, not we cutting race. There are those who come early in the stadium who could come and watch us. Then people they'll start to realize they also play good football. Some they will invite their friends next time. They'll know good. If we go early, we'll start watching women's football before we could watch the main game. So that is why women's football wouldn't really improve if the guys they don't help us to engage themselves to help women's football. Alone we wouldn't do it because this country has been run by men.
What do you think are some of the solutions that would take in terms of getting the women's football in the minds of people as rapidly as you would men's football?
Yeah, it's what I just said, Gucci. If the guys, the big dogs, you know, the people who are holding the PSL, the people who are running those guys' teams, who if they could come together, Joe, and I'm 100% sure they could come with the solution how they could help women's football because they do have money. We don't have money because even the people who are running women's teams, sometimes they go to their pockets for them to run the women's soccer club. So if we don't get sponsors, we don't get enough support, this thing is not going to happen. So that is why I'm saying we need those guys to be involved, you know, to change the mentality of people who see these women, they need support because if they're not supporting us, we're not going to get support outside. Guys, they get support because they're getting support from the big dogs, which people they need to support them. But if we not getting that support from them, we're not gonna get support from outside because it's like something people follow. It's like when you have a football association, when they say something, people don't follow that. You know, so I'm just saying, Gucci, women's football just needs support. Even people in our country, they know about Banyana, but I think they need to also, those business people who have money, they need to also put support in the women's side. It's not even about the men's game only. Also women, they also can do it better than guys.
If you look at the bottom point at where all of this would start, it would start in school. I mean, you speak of playing soccer in the streets. What about the schools? Are schools at the moment incorporating girls' football?
Yeah, I used to saying it. We need to go back. We need to go back to our roots. Because before, when I used to grow up, they used to assign you to do something before you could go home. You needed to be involved to something before you can go home. And you could go guma choir or go tennis or go netball. I think when as a colony they need to go back to that because now kids they get a lot of time to explore themselves when they come back home. They have a lot of break before go back which they could explore drugs and. So I think if they could go back to that and bring sports again. They need to engage to sports. They need to ready to sports as school before they could do it. I think it could change that. I wouldn't say especially in women's football only in every sport because in tennis corner, in rugby corner, in cricket corner, we all experiencing those difficulties, you know, as women. So I'm just saying we need support. Yeah.
As we celebrate Women's Month, you mention all sorts of challenges that women face on a daily basis. You mentioned at the start of the interview saying, why do I have to explain myself? Why does my sexuality matter in my career? What do you think, looking back at the years, has changed?
I think, you know, nothing is changing. Instead, you know, we're losing our sisters more, you know, and it is so wrong with women. They don't have that freedom, that space to be whoever they want to be. You know, if they could do that. It's how they express themselves. But it's so wrong if Abu debate to when they look at the kids today, when they express themselves they end up being pevs around Bona. It's so wrong. I really want to say chance. It's very wrong. Asheli abosisi kahle singazithatheli into engamelanga siyithathe ngendlela engamelanga siyithathe ngayo. It's so wrong. And yeah, and I will say, in my field, most of the things I has experienced, it's my sexuality, me being gay, you know, or others being gay. I was always out about my sexuality. I never hide anything, and I felt good. If ekhaya bang accepta kuyiba bangizalile bangilethe emhlabeni bang accepta babona ukuthi ngibe isidalwa sikaNkulunkulu umntwana ozikhulele kanjalo omuphi omunye one right ukumjudge the way I am yangithola. So I say nje even the payments, you know, are not the same. For effects after football, we can't have a good life. Even those who are still playing today, they can't have a good life, but they're still playing for the national team, but they don't get good payments. For effects they don't even have houses that to feel that professionalism. Which I did present my country for me to buy myself a house, to have a car. Probably one day I want kids, you know, to plan a good future. Some of them they can't do that even today because we're not equal. We're not being treated equal.
And what role do you think society can play, communities can play in making sure that this voice is heard? Because it's a marginalized voice. How can we have Bafana Bafana and not recognize Banyana Banyana on the same level?
I'm just saying, you know, people, they need to change the way they see women. It's not even about Banyana Banyana right now. It's not even about the sports, the game, because at the end of the day, the people who are playing that game it's the ladies. So I'm just saying the people, they just need to change their mentality about the women. You know, if a guy could be a cameraman, why you think Imena can't be a cameraman? If when you could fix a car, what makes you think that I can do that? We're living in the very open-minded world in today. So I feel people, they need to stop to be stereotyped, because sometimes put yourself in other person's shoes. What if it was a kid, it was a child one day trying to pursue a career, the career that is not respected? How are you going to feel? While as you know, Gucci, you invested so much, you supported your kids so much, Gucci, pursuing a career. At the end of the day, you could see Gucci, the career is being pursued, but it's being not respected. So I'm just saying people, they need to change the way they think about women. Probably our country will be better.
And do you think it has anything to do with how children are raised from a young age at home, not being told that because you're a girl you have to wear pink and play with dolls, and if you're a boy you cannot be seen in the kitchen or playing with dolls? Does it start at home?
I could say in respect, I could say in Bego, but charity begins at home. I could say in Bego, Kalekaya, but there's some things today you wouldn't teach your kid. You know, it come within. Umdana kukula na ilondo le guti today umdana kukula over Tomish or lesbian or gay boy. You know, there's nothing you can do about that. It's not something that and I choose. Look, today I'm gonna wake up and feel good tonight. Threaten your rasul. I want to go. I'm gay. I didn't choose that. I didn't wake up and feel good today. I wanna go out there and be insulted just because I'm gay. That's how I grow up, and I feel comfortable when I'm in my skin. I'm the person that I am. But Abanya Bandona today, I think they grow up so well because they're being exposed, and we telling people about the us being gay, sexual. It becomes easier for them. But at the same time, I still feel good. Askaga break it through, you know, the way Mele see breaking a corner, because I need to feel free in my skin. I need to feel free. No man mistrate, no man killing no ban. I need to feel free to understand what's going on, because at the same time, they still don't understand what's going on.
And in terms of an educational, how much of a role do you feel that conglomerates like the media space, for instance, can play in driving this educational method of self-acceptance, of not stereotyping, and of if you look, for example, you'll find that mental illness has been on the rise, and it's a silent killer. Things like depression, because people don't feel accepted. How do you think that message can be driven through in big spaces like the media?
Yeah, I think the media so far, if you watch the soapies, they've been playing a role, because now you find bisexual people in the soapies, you find gay people in the soapies, you find lesbian in the soapies. It simply says now our world is accepting us. They're starting to realize they're living with the people who like us. We're not going anywhere. Today, we need to be killed. Others, they will be born. Like, we're not going anywhere. It's something that I'm just saying, our communities need to recognize and understand. And there are some kids who live like Portia. Some of them, they've been chased at home about feel good satanism, like I'm not satanism, and there is nothing like that. I will feel good. They can't express themselves because I still live under my family's roof. Because if I'm gonna come out being me, living my life, being gay, they're gonna cut me out of things. I will end up saying I'm just saying to parents, just be open-minded, open your mind. There is no way you go to end of the day be satanism against you just because probably sometimes it doesn't even understand what's going on, because it takes time to even understand what's going on with you. Sometimes it doesn't even understand. That's when it needs you as a parent to help to understand. Sometimes I get depressed about I'm living in the environment that people, they don't even understand what I'm going through. I'm living a lie every day. So and my psychologist psychologist sometimes we need that support not sick exchanges. Sometimes psychologists could help, you know, some of the things be strong face but this is me. Because you find some, they will say I live like this and today just because I was avoiding situation as a kai.
You've made such great strides as a footballer, and as you speak, you also educating the community. What do you attribute your success to? I mean, you've got a house full of trophies and medals, and right here as you stand, you have your picture, your framed picture showing that you've scored 100 goals in your career, and I know it's slightly more.
You know, I will say every time when I look at these trophies, my achievement, I'll really feel proud. I'll just say it's so unfortunate that I was raised in a country that women, they were never recognized. Because I'm sure if I was probably raised in another country, I was going to be recognized and I was going to be used to outcoming youth to teach them even more better. There could be more better Portias before. Because we achieved this and we learned. We went out of countries and play with other professional players and we got the experience. We need to come back and nurture it at home. It's so unfortunate no one is using that, and I'm always blessed to be in this community that I am, because they're reminding me every day the things that I've achieved and I'm blessed to that, because if it was not them, probably you know, I don't even take myself serious, because I feel good. As a woman, you could achieve whatever that you want to achieve. You could be the top woman that you want to, because it's not easy to achieve this. It's not like I wake up and feel good, one day I will have this lot of trophies. I worked. There's a lot of things I sacrificed. I sacrificed my childhood. I didn't play because I wanted to be this best soccer player, the best footballer. My most trophy that I always wanted to be the best player in Africa. It's so unfortunate, Gucci. As much as I was being nominated all the time to that award, but I never got it because we never won anything. But for me, I was always that player, because every time when I was nominated, I felt Gucci, I was that player, you know, the best player in Africa. So it's so unfortunate, Gucci. As much as you could achieve in our country as a woman, that is not going to be seen because you are a woman. And it's sad, because if Penny McCarthy could score 22 or 23 goals, me scoring 101 goals, but people, they still salute McCarthy. Yeah, I understand. So I'll just say, people, they need to change the way they think about women, because we also putting an effort to what we do. And we need to be seen and we need to be celebrated, and we need to, they need to start to respect us. We deserve that.
And if you look at some of the trophies on this table, which for you brings back the most memorable of memories?
I could say all of them, because as much as you 30 in the squad, and when they always choose you walking away with these trophies, it simply says you're working hard. Also, your dream, you make it happen. You making it happen. And for me, this was the best, because I think that was I don't think there's a woman who Polo Sazutula the trophy, you know, because you being nominated with best athletes, you know, ever swimming, tennis, and those guys are great, you know. And for me, even a chair, at the end of the day, I take this from a chair. Yeah, no, it was a killer, it was a bomb. That is why I'm saying I'll cherish this, because I believe it will take time for a soccer player, a women's soccer player, to get this.
Thank you so much. You indeed are a trailblazer, a shaker in your industry. Thank you for inviting us into your home.
Bonga mina akho.